Okay. So this is the last remaining Game Boy Pocket Color. It has seen better days. I actually had multiple problems with multiple of the Game Boy Pocket Colors when I was assembling them originally. And then I decided, well, I'll just combine them all into this one. And I'll keep this one for myself. I opened this shell so many times that I cracked these two screw posts that are these two right here. So they're pretty much useless and they're ugly now. I believe there was like a mark on the screen. Maybe there still is, but I just tested it yesterday because I couldn't remember what was wrong with this. But I don't see any marks anymore. But that's better for me because I do actually want to keep this. There's one more thing that is wrong with this, and it is that it will not read games. This always appears the exact same marking on it, no matter how hard I clean it. I don't know what this error code is. I feel like each of these different like weird black boxes, the different designs in them, I think they mean something. And I mean, obviously they mean something because they're different depending on they're different. I don't know. I don't know what the depends is. Those are diapers. I feel like in Nintendo somewhere deep in their archives, they have like a book that decodes all of these because they look different from time to time. But this one in particular always looks the same. So I'm going to try and figure out what that is exactly. See if we can get this bad boy to read games again and maybe potentially put this in a new shell once everything's fixed. I don't know. I have this like really nice atomic purple shell that is like an original shell. Apparently doesn't have a battery cover. That's unfortunate. It has a power switch cover, but no battery cover. I guess I could just use this since this is kind of useless to me. I could do half and half. That would be kind of cool. The screen is also just like in perfect condition. But anyways, we'll see. Let's take this apart and see if we can fix this. I believe when I was still working on this video on the main channel, I did throw this in the ultrasonic cleaner just to see if there's anything like shorting somewhere that could get cleaned out. And I don't think it worked. We'll see how clean this board is. I know there's going to be some flux residue over here because I had to resolder it once I was done using the ultrasonic cleaner. But really my first step for diagnosing this is just going to be looking around the board to see if I see anything that is noticeably wrong. I don't know why I took this screw out. I like to hold these in here. Before we even get to opening this up on the other side, I think all we'll need to look at is going to be right around here. But I'm just going to zoom in and look around to see if I notice anything. I'll probably just cut to me finding something, maybe. I definitely put this through the ultrasonic cleaner because you can see right there that there's some residue left over, which I don't think is the problem. I may also have to just get out the microscope to see if there's any problems here. I'm not seeing anything down here. My best guess is that there's a short on either the RAM or the CPU, but we're going to look around at the other things here. Maybe one of these legs is not fully soldered down. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to get out the microscope. Or what's this over here? Maybe this is shorting to a via. That could be it. Let's start there. I don't know if there's any vias over there, but a random glob of solder where there's not supposed to be any solder is a good place to start. Just a little flux, and yeah, I don't think there's a via there. But there's no longer a glob of solder. Okay, same thing over here. I don't think there's anything in this particular area, but I mean, these are both ground, and I don't think they connect to anything besides the common ground, so I don't think it's a problem at all. Just looking over here with my eyes, I'm not quite seeing anything that is out of the ordinary, so I'm going to bust out the microscope. I genuinely don't think it's anything on the front of the board. There's really not much on the front of the board in general. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and look at all of these. I think all these pins are secured, but we will go ahead and just look for shorts, really. See if there's anything out of the ordinary with any of these chips. Chips. Pins are on the chips. Okay, that section looks good. One of my worries is that this capacitor right there may be isn't soldered down well, but I don't know if that would actually affect too much of what we're seeing right now. Just looking through here, maybe no. Okay, I didn't know if that spot in particular was shorting. I think it's just a little dirt is all. That looks like some ultrasonic cleaner residue, which I just used some simple green and is non-conductive. So even though it's not even touching anything, it's nothing to worry about. Okay, I'm still not seeing anything. Still not seeing anything. Well, there is some hair right there, or some sort of hair-like substance. I don't know. I will grab my dental pick, see if we can do anything about that. But I don't think it's actually going to matter because these things are non-conductive. And I am not seeing any shorting on the CPU. We can go over to the RAM and double check the same thing. Not seeing anything, although it is very bright, very blown out. And yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of dirt over in this area. I don't think it's doing anything. Okay, so now what we can do is look around at all the other things to see if there's any shorts or anything lifted up that shouldn't be lifted up. Any of these vias maybe shorting to a resistor or what have you. Maybe just a random piece of metal got flicked off. I don't know. Are these shorting to anything? I don't think so. No, it's awfully close, but no cigar. Still nothing looks like it's a problem. Is this shorting? Because I've had problems with this shorting. Not this in particular, but on the Wii HDMI, I think it was. I shorted one of these. I don't even know what these are called. I'm still not seeing anything out of the ordinary. Everything looks soldered down as it should be. None of these look like they're shorting to anything. These look fine. My only real question is this actually soldered down? Well, I'm putting quite a bit of pressure on it and it's not moving, so I'm going to say it's soldered down. Yep, that's definitely soldered and soldered well. I don't think those can be backwards, so I'm not really worried about that. Guess we can go down to the bottom of the board, see if there's anything peculiar over here. I will clean this up real quick. Okay. And there's really nothing down here that would make me question the cartridge reader. If we were having like sound or power issues, that would make more sense. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything down here. So maybe we can just go ahead and might as well test to make sure all of these pins are actually soldered down. Have a good connection just by wiggling each and every one of these pins. I think I've already done this before, but why not try it all again? Oh boy, my hand is cramping. Play through the pain, Jake, play through the pain. Okay, halfway through the CPU, still nothing. I've checked every single pin. I've looked at every single pin very intently multiple times. I do not find anything wrong with this thing. I am flabbergasted. The only thing I could really see being a problem with this is maybe the cartridge slot, potentially, maybe, but I just don't think so. And I want to say I replaced the cartridge slot too, but we'll put the microscope away for now and we will dig a little deeper, see if we can find anything. Yep, and there's the absolutely destroyed screw post. The other one's intact. I don't know how this crack came to be, but we can just go ahead and remove what's left here. Zooming in over here. Once again, I don't think it's anything with the power, so I'm not going to bother whipping out the microscope for this guy. Everything seems fine over here, but maybe I'll take a quick peek at the cart slot. I mean, really nothing seems out of the ordinary for the cart slot, so I don't know, man. I'll look under the microscope. So the only thing I'm really seeing with this cartridge slot in particular is that I have scraped up some of the solder mask, but I don't think that's gonna really affect it. Sorry for the road noise. Oh, that actually looks like it's ruined. Not necessarily ruined, but I think I can just add some solder there. Yeah, some of these look a little scraped up. So let's add some solder to the copper and see what we can do. I'm going to try and clean some of this up. Like, see if this will go away. I think this is just like burnt flux. Yeah, I think that's just burnt flux. Maybe I'm onto something. I don't think this is much of an issue, but we'll go ahead and try and add some solder to that. It looks like there's some solder on that. It's hard to see the black traces on the black PCB, but we'll go ahead and add some solder to that spot there. See if we even can do that. Does not look like it wants to. Move on to this spot here. This spot actually seems like a bit of a trouble spot. Okay, it's kind of hard to tell since it's shiny copper, but just keep on keeping on. Adding more to this one. That looks a little more silvery to me. Moving on. Where was that big scratch at? There was like a big gash on one of these that I was like, yeah, that seems like a problem. Like this one right here. This one looks like a problem. Kind of hard to tell. Just gonna, oh, I am definitely shorting a couple of them now, but I just wanted to get some solder there. We'll go ahead and unbridge this real quick. This also looks like a slight issue. We'll go ahead and put some solder there. And was that all of them? I feel like there was one that was bigger. I mean, this one could be a problem too. That one looks like a small issue, but really all of them? Maybe it's this one that was like getting obscured. I feel like I should make like an extension wire for that. I think that was the worst one. This is really hard to solder, but I think we did it there. Just want to touch it up slightly. I thought that was going to happen. Oh no. Now that's what we're looking for. That was a good one. Okay, is there any other ones that could use this treatment? Probably this one. Probably both of these here could use this treatment, but I think we'll just go with this one to start. It'll definitely be tougher to get the one next to it, so we'll try my best here. Are there any other ones? I think that one's fine. Okay, here goes nothing. So close. It's hard to tell, but I think that's good. And I think from here, I will try and clean up this mess here. Okay, that is what we were working with. If you needed some scale, very tiny stuff. That's why we need the microscope. But I'm going to go ahead and try and clean up very carefully, try and clean up the flux mess over here. Spraying a little alcohol down and then dropping some flux remover on all that. And then let it sit for a little bit. You can see it getting white. That means it's working. Then you spray it again. And then you can take a brush, scrape that up. I need to be a little bit more careful since we have some very thin wires that are doing the Lord's work. Then we can get our paper towel out, clean up the rest. Then I'll take a lighter, softer brush, clean up the rest of it a little bit. And then I think I will I'll put it back together. I'll quickly put it back together. Not anything too crazy. Not going to actually screw anything down. Just going to close it all up. And then we can put a game in there. We can put our batteries back in. Cross our fingers. That actually works. The screws are going to fall out, but that's all right. It's for the win. No, still nothing. Was that the same as before? Were those the same markings as before? I do not know. It has been too long. Incredibly disappointing. I will try Mashed in here, my video game that you can buy right now at retroremaster.com, since this isn't as beat up of a cartridge. See, even that looks like a slightly different. Okay, let's look at that. And looking at this, I think that's slightly different, but I still think that I think we could probably connect more of those. That's my thought. Connecting more of those pins to the board, I think will actually work. I'm going to try it for all of the pins that look bad. Before I waste my time and go through soldering all these super tiny wires, I'm going to see if I can actually make connections to some of these points. Get some continuity going. Okay, there are two connections that I would like to actually do the same wire trick to. This one right here, this third pin from the right, and then the second pin from the left, connecting all the way up to here because it kind of connects, but I don't get like a good solid connection. I could see that being a major problem. So we're going to go whip out the microscope one more time, see if we can fix that. And if connecting those two doesn't work, then I really don't know. And I'll probably just post the video as is and see if any of you can help me. Oh, you're kidding me. You're actually kidding me. I didn't hit record for that. You're freaking kidding me. Okay, well, I just connected more wires to those two. This one was a huge pain in the butt to do, but it is soldered. Had some bridging problems between these two nearest pins, and I got it all solved. But let's test and make sure that this actually works. Again, I'm just going to put it together loosely, and we'll start with my game, because why not? Put Mashed on the big screen. Actually, a really small screen, but anyways. Please work, please work, please work, please work. No, dude. Man, but that does look different. I don't know if we're onto something or not. It just, yeah, those are two different codes. Is it just a dirty... I'll use both the two clean boys that I have. Nope, it just does not want to work. No matter what I do. That really sucks. I'll try putting the electronic cleaner in the cart slot again. I don't think it's going to matter in the slightest. Nope. Maybe you spotted something that I didn't spot, or maybe you just have ideas that I'm too stupid to think of, or maybe you're the creator of this mod and you want to help me out. I am out of ideas, and this makes me very sad because literally everything looks totally fine. And I feel like I was onto something, and now I'm sad that I'm no longer onto anything. Okay, I have failed. Bye-bye.